Hello again, fellow golf enthusiasts. I want to talk to you today about the most important thing for you to become a good player is how to practice correctly. Practice makes permanent, practice does not make perfect, but perfect practice does. And that is very difficult to do. And most people practice so poorly. Now you're going to be two categories I'm talking to you at the moment. Some people who love practicing, and they do all the time and they don't go on the golf course enough, and others who just play golf. And they can actually get pretty good at just timing the ball, but they never improve and get frustrated. So we want a blend of both. Now I'm just going to talk to you today about the long game practice, but down the line we're going to talk about how to practice each department of the game. Now first of all, again, you need a plan. What do you want to achieve? Is it going to be technical? So I'd say to you, really important to this, so remember this, are you trying to acquire the skill, or are you testing it? So when you're on the golf course, you're testing all your skills, and then you should learn from it. When you're on the driving range in hitting balls, you're testing. If you want to acquire the skill, sometimes you use the golf ball, sometimes you don't. So in my lessons, lots of practice swings without the ball, and lots with air flight balls, which I'm going to be hitting in a minute because we're in the COVID-19 situation in the back garden. So that is really good, because when you're trying to improve, you're trying to change how your body's thinking or your brain's thinking. So your neural pathways store your swing. Your brain stores your swing as a pattern, and when it sees the catalyst of the golf ball, it goes straight back to what you've been doing before. So we need to override that. We need to do so many repetitions of something that's good that eventually it becomes instinctive, and that takes quite some time. So nearly always you're on verbal command of telling yourself what to do, but we want to get on that autopilot. Okay, so first thing you need to do, what are you going to achieve? So is it going to be a skills test that you're going to do and you've got to beat next time, and there's a consequence if you don't and a reward if you do? Or is it going to be technical improvement that you're going to be able to prove, as if you're going to go to a court afterwards and say, I can prove I have improved? So you're going to need a camera. This is a really good one. It was specifically made for golf swings. We've got a great screen here, big screen. A lot of you got phones, and they're excellent, brilliant as well, but put it on a tripod. You really need to be very still with that, because we want to be able to see whether you're moving around or not. And you can't really tell if you're just hand-holding it. So, good camera. That's what to say, your plan. Now, used to be writing things down before you go, the night before or the morning, what you're going to achieve, how you're going to tell her. Probably just put it in your phone. Good, and keep that account. Okay, so once you've got that idea exactly what you want to do and how you're going to use your time, then it's ready to go to the range. So I'm going to show you a few little tips here on the range that we need. Let's have a walk down here. I've got a little club here as well that I always, if I'm traveling, I take with me. A little cut down sand iron. So from here I can practice the grip, practice my swing if I'm in a hotel room, and it gives you enough weight to give you a feel. So this is a really important thing to carry with you. Just goes in your luggage when you're flying, if we can fly again at some stage. So get a cut down club, really handy. All the tour pros will have one of those. But let's just go and hit some shots in here now. So I used to coach Nick Faldo from 2001, and you know, he's one of the best practices ever, one of the most successful players, 6 times major champion, top 10 all time, and a brilliant practicer. And we formed a team. We actually played as a team called Team Faldo, and we selected some players that had played in the Faldo series. Happened to be one of them was Rory McIlroy. These were like 14-year-olds. The other one happened to be Oliver Fisher, who I subsequently coach now, and when he had the 59, the lowest score ever in history. We also had Yanni Seng, who got to #1 in the world from Taiwan, and Melissa Reid, who got to #1 in Europe as a lady. In fact, all the players we coached got to on the European tour. So it's a pretty successful team, to say the least. But one of the things we had, everything that they did, I monitored, and they had tests. Well, I give them a test, then evaluate it, then give them something to practice on, and when they come back, that they better have improved. So we monitored them all the time, and I would log it, because we had 8 players, and after the end of the year, two would come out, and they did not want to come out of that team. They got so many incredible things and individual coaching from Nick as well. When we went to California and Florida, and they saw the best eye specialists, the best physios, the best trainers, they were really privileged. So they wanted to be in that. So one of the rules was, and at the time, this is all we had for lining up, you could say, was a club on the ground. Alignment is unbelievably important. So most faults, things that go wrong, are people aiming it not correctly and then compensating with their swing. So let me just put a ball down here for the moment. Excuse me. So if I'm going to put this driver down here, I'm going to aim in the corner of this field here, or my garden. And can I just show you, go from here? So if we're just putting a club down, it's going to give me some alignment. Now with the team Faldo, if Nick or I came down the range and one of the players didn't have a club down on the ground when they were practicing, they got a warning. The second time they were sent back to the hotel for the day, and the third time they were sent home. So, but we were strict and we implied that rule. So they practiced correctly rather than practicing faults. So if I'm going to go there, okay, it's easy now, pretty easy for me to get my alignment square to this. I want my feet, hips and shoulders square. But I can't really tell how far I'm away from the ball or my ball position. So I came up with a training aid called Practice, which won the Golf Monthly Training Aid of the Year award, and is also in 2020 the editor has named it as already the Training Aid of the Year, Innovation of the Year rather. So this is what Practice does. Let me just show you for a minute. So if I just get you to have a look at it from on top here, I've got distances from the ball, like here. You pick your club, the driver, you have a zone here, driver zone, and you'll be somewhere in there. This is going to be distance from the ball. For me, I'm just at the front of this zone is good. So then put this down here. Now we've got, sorry, I meant to show you here, we've got, this is my width of stance. You've got change for each club, you change the width of stance. So you're going to do the same thing every time you go to practice. You're really building on that muscle memory. Let me just show you with the driver from both angles. So from here, you can see that looks pretty good, doesn't it? In fact, I'm slightly too far from that. Okay. So I can get to the same position each time. And now I'll just show you from face on. I want this ball position. You can see it's here. This tells me each time when I go to practice. So if I got that ball too far back in the stance here, I'm going to move this way and I can't come onto it properly. If I've got it too far forward, I'm probably going to have my weight too much in the left-hand side. So ball position is really important. Obviously, we may vary that. If I want the ball forward for a high fade, ball back for a low draw. But we want something here. So this is practice.com. If you go and look there, PRAK-TIS, and this will really help you. A lot of European Tour players playing. So it's going to help you with the width of the stance, your distance from the ball position, and your foot angles. Let's have a look at a 6-iron now. So again, here I've slid this to my 6-iron. I've got my 6-iron zone here. So someone who's tall stands closer to it. Someone who's shorter with longer arms stands further away. I'm good from the second to the bottom. That works for me. Put out a couple of balls from it. Also down on the ground got a couple of curved lines. This is all part of practice. These are my inventions. And this gives me the swing path, the arc. So I put a couple of those down, and then we want that sort of in to in path. Most amateurs obviously coming across it. So if I show you now from down the line here, so imagine you go to practice, so now when you're going to go practice, you're going to be exactly the same distance from the ball every time. You're going to have exactly the ball position you want, you're going to have the foot angles you want, you're going to have the width of stance that you want, and now you can build on that all the time. When I'm giving people lessons, or general coaching, people are miles out with their alignment. They tend to aim to the right, and the reason for that, if I was going to shoot a rifle to the corner of the fence there, even if I'd never shot a rifle, it's not too difficult to do that because my eye line is behind the shaft or rifle here. But because we stand to the side, the ball to target line is there, and my eye to target line is a diagonal, so everybody tends to go to the right. And of course now I'm going to create a fault. Sometimes in a lesson when I've got someone for the first time and they're aiming 40 yards right and they flush it and I say great shot, and they say, well, can you not see properly? It's gone 40 yards to the right. I said, well, you aimed there. So alignment is really important, so you have to do this properly. So I've got this curve down. This is lined up, as you can see, probably 5 yards inside the corner of the fence. I've got the curves there just instinctively or visually going to help me get my swing part. One thing again, when I can be the same distance from the ball, but I could be in a totally different posture. So check that in a window or mirror before you go to the range. Make sure that your legs are the outright flex. Okay, let's give one a hit now. We told you finish. Finish is going to tell you a lot of what you did on the shot. So just in a nutshell for the moment, get a plan before you go to the range, get some feedback. You've got to have the camera or someone very accurately telling you what you're doing, because feel and real are nearly always different. So then you've got to match your feel to what you want to do. So it's usually that you've got to exaggerate that feel to get to where you want to be. So get it filmed, don't leave it till the end of the session. So if you're filming it, hit 5 balls at most, have a look at it, film it again, and then you're all the time improving. So when I'm coaching somebody, we've got at Windlesham we have a teaching lodge, so probably every 10 minutes we're going to have a look again, depends on what I'm trying to achieve in the lesson, going to look at the video on a bigger screen, going to hit some shots, 10 minutes back in again. If we came 3 times back in and out of the lodge, every time we would improve, absolutely guaranteed. So get that video. Just one tip on that, when you're filming, make sure if I'm standing here and the ball's there, don't film from over there or here, because you're going to get totally the wrong angle. You need to see that camera coming here, and when you're filming from face on, make sure it is not like this or here. We want it exactly face on. Okay, just apply that. If you practice correctly and become the best practicer out there, so if you think about it, just one last thing I'll leave you with. You can imagine, you say you've got 140 players on the range at a European Tour event, and you had some system where you could monitor who's improved the most. So after half an hour you say, okay, number 26, the person who's in number 26 bay, they've improved the most. Brilliant. Right, go and practice for half an hour again. Number 26 improved the most. They've actually improved the most by video or by a skills test. You can imagine number 26 will become an extremely good player. So be that person, practice constructively, look to improve every session that you have a plan, and it will happen for you. Good luck with that. You won't need good luck with it actually. You will become a much better player if you stick to what I'm saying. Look forward to seeing you again soon, and all the best in between. Bye for now.